First off, just want to thank everyone, take some time out of their day to come out and start this exciting new era for TCC softball. This is a very special building, special place for a lot of people. Our alumni are super supportive of this program, and I think we're all very excited today to introduce the newest head coach for TCC softball as we try to take this program into the next era. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our Director of Athletics, Chuck Moore.
Thank you, Brett, as always. As Brett says, this is a very storied program. A lot of history's come through these doors. And after a pretty extensive national search, I've got to thank the committee. I thank Dr. Roll and Dr. Murdahl for a lot of the help that we had along this way. We knew what we wanted to look for. We wanted somebody that carried on the tradition that was established, which was creating great student athletes and producing them on the court, on the fields, I should say, not courts, but also off to the classroom, in the community, and really just carrying on that type of legacy, which is what we talk about every year in this athletic department, which is leave a legacy. And we found our next coach. She's a former Division I player at Lamar, where she was a 4-year starter as a catcher. And then from there, she was 2-time first-team all-conference, along with, in 2017, being first-team all-tournament team also. But what carries that into is actually the coaching experience. And in 2018, she made it to the College World Series and finished in 3rd place when she was at Southern Arkansas. Then she moves over to Stephen F. Austin, where they won the Southland regular season championship. So there comes a success there, which is something we really wanted at a higher level. But what really stood out to me and the committee was her players' mentality that she carried into her coaching. A lot of coaches do different things in different aspects, and certain times younger coaches do have the ability to connect with players. But as a catcher who called her own pitches while in college, which is pretty unheard of, that spoke volumes. And then when her current coaches that she worked for says they're giving her the lead and letting her still call pitches, that said something to me as an athletic director, that she knows how to manage a game, she knows how to run a game, and she also knows how to connect with the players. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for this next generation to be built up and to be mirroring their head coach. Through all of it, she was very even-keeled. She was constant, but you could sense a level of intensity, which is what we look for in this department, because that's what's going to come out on the fields. That's what's going to come through our players, especially when you compete in this Panhandle Conference, which is arguably the best in the nation, as we say. Some people will fight that, but we won't. So after 20 years, we now have a new head coach. And I'm thrilled and excited and honored to introduce Brynn Baca as our new women's head coach. Come on. Boys,
Thank you, everybody. Just want to thank everybody who came today. I really want to thank TCC for this fantastic opportunity. Something that I've been striving for since I was a sophomore in college. I knew I wanted to coach softball. But just the facilities here and the people and the administration, they were so welcoming. And on my interview, I was like, man, this is a cool place. Like being a Texan and moving halfway across the country, away from your family, when you're a huge family person, it's definitely tough. But TCC welcomed me with open arms, and I'm just really happy to take what Coach Patty has built, and I'm ready to hit the ground running and just get started. I want to move in a really positive direction. We're working to bring all these athletes in. I've already been out recruiting, but I've been out recruiting in Texas. I'm ready to get out in Florida and build those relationships in Florida and just start getting girls in who just want to absolutely grind. Like, I'm looking for grinders. I'm looking for those girls who just want to play softball. I think that's kind of what we're missing nowadays. I think people are in it for some different sorts of reasons, but I just want people who want to play. And I think that's part of my philosophy is if you don't want to be here, then you could be working, you could be doing a bunch of other things, but softball is not forever, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. My number one goal when I bring these athletes in is I want to get them their education first because they are students. I think that's kind of a missing word nowadays. with all sorts of things that are going on in NCAA and things like that. And that's why I think this opportunity is so awesome, because here we get to build off of foundations and fundamentals and just learning how to be that adult after college. And softball is not really much of a professional league, and if there is, it's the one percenters. So that's what I want to build. I want to give those student athletes an idea of what they want to do next. I want to be that person for them that is guidance and a mentor, to where they can come and ask me, what should I do next? What do I love, kind of. I think that was something that I really needed when I was a student athlete, and I want to be that person for them. We've already got some girls who have signed, thankfully. I'm actually really excited. We actually have some returners as well. We have Piper Castro coming back. We have a lot of Northern girls. We have some Canadians coming our way. We have Tori Richardson, who just signed from Illinois. I'm actually really excited about who we're bringing in and the types of girls that we're bringing in, and I'm just ready to get the rest of them. Actually going this weekend to try and find more. But yeah, I'm happy to be in Tallahassee. I've heard the community is fantastic, and I'm ready to get out in the community so that we can get that fan support. You can't really do much without fans. Softball games are very boring without them. If anybody remembers in 2020, things are boring without fans. But I am very, very happy to be here. I want to thank everybody again, and go Eagles.
Take a quick picture, and then we're going to open it up for questions.
Good speech. Good job.
All right, then we'll just open it up. Whoever wants to go first.
Coach, have you had that conversation yet with Coach Patty?
I have not been in contact with Coach Patty. She has built something incredible here. I mean, a coach being at a location for 20 years is just crazy without moving up or doing anything like that. She built a life here and built a life at TCC that, I mean, that just shows. I have a lot of respect for that, because not a lot of coaches do it. They're always thinking about what's next. So building that foundation here and building this program, that's unbelievable.
As much as you aspired to be a coach, did you expect to be walking into these this size shoes, and how do you anticipate you are trying to handle it?
No, I didn't expect it, but I think that's what makes it really exciting, is because I said in my interview, nothing that comes easy is worth it. It's definitely going to be hard, and I love pressure. I mean, being a catcher and playing softball my whole life, you step into those pressure situations and you have to want the pressure. If you don't want the pressure's going to find you. So, no, it's definitely going to be very difficult, but I'm excited for it.
Coach, you mentioned learning now to recruit Florida and recruit this area. You know, there's so much talent here in the Tallahassee area, the surrounding counties, and even up north and South Georgia. How important is it going to be to recruit your backyard?
It's going to be really important. I think that's another thing that builds fan support. If you don't bring in people from your backyard, it's going to be hard to get fans in, just because they're bringing in parents and friends and things like that. So I think building those relationships, I've already started to reach out to high school coaches around here, seeing if they have some players that they would think would be good for this program. I think that those relationships are super important, just so you can get that kind of community support.
As you mentioned, community support, you talked about reference 2020 when we couldn't go out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about that and how much emphasis you put on developing that fan base, and what's your approach going to be in terms of being able to do that here in Tallahassee?
Luckily, I had the opportunity to work with community service and things like that in my previous positions. I actually dove headfirst right into it, and we were doing 5 to 6 hours a month each player. So, and coaches were involved in that as well. So, building those types of relationships and just showing that we work hard outside of the field, I think that kind of shows that we're going to work hard on the field as well, so it can bring in those fans.
Okay. Anything else? Good? Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Joe.